actually wanted to ask you about Zach Hyman. Obviously, the Team Canada roster is getting named this week. Do you think he should be part of that team? He's such an interesting conversation. Obviously, we all saw Chris Kunitz go to the Olympics because of Crosby. And Hyman's a way better player, right, with McDavid. So, do you think that should be should be going?
He's on my team. Sorry, he just is. I have a different philosophy though than most people probably do, but I look and I think they're going to have enough upper end talent. They're not going to need more of the skilled type of talent in the top 9. Top 6 is going to be loaded. So for me, I'm going to build a team that's a team. I'm going to build guys that can work in the corners, that can rag a puck down the wall, that go to the net front and make it difficult. I think they're going to have a lot of competition from some of the other countries in the sense that they've got some big power forwards that go to the net they're going to have to defend. So for me, I look at it from a standpoint like have been mentioned. Adam Lowry's in the world have been mentioned. These are great players for me. These are the kind of players you want to have on your team. For me, that's just me, the way I think about it. You're going to have enough skill. I'm not worried about it. I can't wait to see McKinnon and McDavid flying around the ice together. I think it's going to be fantastic. The Braden Points of the world, he's a shoo-in on my team. I love that kid. But for me, Zach Hyman, that chemistry that he has with Connor McDavid, I think you just can't teach it. You can't manufacture it. He scored 70 goals in a season, in the regular season and playoffs. It hasn't been a tremendous start for Zach. I'm not worried about that. When the chips are on the table, I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, and that's what I find funny about a lot of these conversations around the Four Nations thing is people going, oh, he's not playing good right now. He's not playing good right now. The tournament's in February. It is 2 months away. You can't be picking up based on who's playing well right now. You have to look at a bigger sample size than that.
I think it certainly plays into it, Ty, a little bit, though, right? If a guy comes out of the been one to say you got to reward people to come into a season, especially there's so much pride to play for your country. I mean, that was never something I ever had to worry about. But let me tell you something. I think it's got to be one of the things you can be most proud of in your career. And if you talk to players and over the history of time, Stanley Cup is obviously the ultimate goal for a hockey player because that's what you're playing the game to do. That's what you're paid to do. But the Olympics, gold medals, I mean, the fact that McDavid and the young players have been kind of robbed of that opportunity to go out there and represent their countries, I think it's awesome. It's going to be extremely exciting to see it back in action again, and you're going to see motivated players. But for a player to come into this season where you have the Four Nations face-off and then you have the Olympics next year, to start putting the seasons together at this time, you got to sit and think to yourself, with all that pressure to make that team, there's motivation there, and you're seeing guys step up and have a big year. You have to look at that. I think you have to look at that and say, oh, a preconceived team. But there are some players that no question you can pick pre and you know they're going to be fine. And Zach Hyman for me is one of them. He's just one of them for me. Now, I know we're a little biased being in the Edmonton market. I get that. But he's been shotgunned to the best player in the game for a few years now. I think he's done just fine.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.